In this video, we are going over some basic questions on change of subjects. So let's take a look at the first one. Y equals x plus z. So we're just going to make x stand alone. And the letter that is closer to the x is z. So we take z from there. And you realize that it is adding with the x. So we subtract. So what we do is that we take away z from both sides. So we have y minus z is equal to x plus z minus z, so that this and this takes away, then we'll be left with y minus z is equal to x, and now x is standing alone. Okay, normally what people used to say is that just take this to the other side, okay, so that we'll be left with only the x at this side, and we get y minus z. And we normally say that when plus crosses the equal to sign becomes minus, but we are just subtracting from both sides. Okay, so let's look at the second one. Let's say we have y equals x minus w. What about this? These questions are very, very basic, so you can pause the video and try them several times and to see if you can solve them. Okay, so let's look at the first one. This one, we're going to move w to this side. Okay, moving w to this side, and you realize that if we move it to this side, you're going to get y plus w is equal to x. Okay, but I would want us to go the right way. So if you have to go to the right way, we know that to get this negative w from there, we have to add w to both sides. So we have y plus w is equal to x minus w plus w, so that positive and negative will go away. So we'll be left with y plus w will be equal to x. So this becomes the final answer, and now x is standing alone. X is the subject. Okay, let's try another one. Very quick. So you have y is equal to x plus k, which is almost similar to this one. So basically we're just going to subtract k from both sides because we are adding. So we're going to subtract k from both sides. So if we subtract k from both sides, we have y minus k is equal to x plus k minus k. So this and this subtracts or cancels out, sorry. Then we have y minus k is equal to x. Okay, so this becomes the final answer. Let's try the next one. Quick, we have y equals x plus the root of rs. It's just like what we are doing. I'm just doing the basic change of subject. So when you look at this one, you realize that whatever is attached to the x's, there's this root of rs, and they are added. So don't even bother yourself to do anything. Just carry this to the other side, so that we just have y minus root of rs is equal to x. We carry this one to the other side, and we realize that it was adding, so we subtract. Okay, so we have this, or you can go the normal way, like, or let me say the right way. So you say y minus root of rs is equal to x plus the root of rs minus the root of rs, because we subtracted rs from root of rs from both sides. So this and this can cancel out, so we left with y minus rs is equal to x. Okay, and it's the same as this. All right, let's try the next one quickly. So we have another one. Let's say we have y equals x minus root of ab. I think this is very simple, just like the one we did here, just that the sign, the opposite sign has changed. This was addition and this one is subtraction. So we move this one to the other side, okay, of the equal to sign. And always I say that make sure you know that this y is already there. It's not going to be affected with the sign. Okay, so we just move this to that side, and we have y plus the root of ab is equal to what? X. Or you can go the right way by saying that y is equal to x minus root of ab. We add ab to both sides because they are subtracting. It's subtracting with what we want it to be, the subject. Okay, they are subtracting, so we have to add to both sides. So we have y plus root of ab is equal to x minus root of ab plus root of ab. So this and this will cancel out, and then we left with y plus root of ab is equal to what? Equal to the x, and that will be our final answer, and it's the same as this. Now let's move on to more questions. So we have y equals ax, something like this. What about this? And we want x to stand alone. Okay, we want x to stand. We want to make x the subject. Normally some questions will say express x in terms of a and y. It's the same thing, just make x the subject. So what we are going to do is ask yourself what letter is attached to the x and what operation sign is affecting them. So realize that it is the a that is attached to the x, and operation sign that is affecting them is multiplication. So we are going to divide. Okay, so we divide both sides by a, so that this a will go away and we'll be having y over a to be equal to our x, and that becomes our final answer. Just like what we did the other example, where if it is subtracting, we add to both sides. Here, if it is multiplying, we divide by both sides. Just like that. Very simple. Okay, let's try another one. Let's say we are given y is equal to negative ax. How about this? Okay, as usual, you can pause the video to try your hands on it to see if you can solve it. So you're making x the subject, or we are expressing x in terms of y and a. Okay, so what we do is that just going to divide by negative a this time, and negative a will cancel this, because we are making x the subject, not negative x. So if you divide by only a, you are wrong. You have to divide by negative a so that the two will just go away, and our x will be equal to y, negative y over a. Okay, and that becomes our final answer. All right, now let's solve more questions. So let's say we have y equals let's say bcx. All right, and we want x to stand alone. What do we do? As usual, it is the b and the c that are affecting this x, and operation sign that's connecting them is multiplication. So we divide. Okay, so we divide by bc. Okay, because bc is the letters that are affecting our x, or whatever letter we have been asked to make the subject. So we divide both sides by the bc and we cancel out. So our x, final answer, x will be equal to y over bc. Okay, that becomes our final answer for this particular question. Let's solve more questions. Let's see what about if we have something like this: y is equal to x over a. What about if you have something like this? Now you realize that the letter that is affecting our x here, that we want it to be the constant, or we want it to stand alone, or want to make it the subject, is a here. That's the letter affecting it, and the operation sign that's affecting it, or is connecting them, is division sign. So what we do is that we are going to multiply. So addition will go with subtraction, multiplication will go with division, in that order. So we are going to multiply here by a, multiply this side also by a. All right, so that this a will take care of this a, and we have ay to be equal to x. Okay, so this is what we are going to have, because a times y is ay, and that becomes the final answer. Let's solve more questions. Okay, so what if we have something like this: y equals negative x over root of a, something like this. These are just basic examples, and you should be able to solve these ones. Okay, so let's see how we'll go over, or we are going to solve this one. Let's see how we're going to solve this. So what we are going to do is that we can see that root of a and minus sign is what is affecting our x here, and also we can also see that the operation sign that's connecting them is division. So we are going to multiply. First, let's take care of this. Okay, so you can multiply by root of a, and here too by root of a. Whatever you do at the other side of the equal to sign, do the same thing here. So this takes care of this. All right, then we are going to be left with root of a multiplied by y to be equal to negative x. All right, now we can multiply y by a, root of a, and we get y root a is equal to negative x. We multiply through by negative sign, or the negative one. Okay, multiply through by negative one. We multiply through by negative one, so we are going to have negative y root a to be equal to x, and that becomes our final answer. All right, let's solve more questions. How are we going to solve this? Y equals x minus 3. We are still making x the subject. I just want us to solve some basic principles or questions on change of subject. Very basic ones. These ones are very basic, and this is the beginner lesson. So if you think you are okay with change of subjects, more complex one will come. This is just the part 1. Okay, now let's see how we can make x the subject. So what we are going to do is that, as usual, we can see that the number that's affecting our x here is -3, and the operation sign connecting them is minus. Okay, that's the operation sign connecting them. So what we are going to do is that we are going to add, because subtraction goes with addition, we are going to add 3 to both sides. So we're going to have plus 3 here and then plus 3 at this side. So we are going to have 3 plus y should be equal to this. We'll take care of this, it's equal to x, and we got the final answer. Now x is standing alone, and we are done. Very basic and very simple. Now let's see, what about a question like this, where we have y is equal to x over 5. This time I'm substituting the variables, like the letters with numbers, to see if we can solve them. Okay, so with this, what we do is that just going to multiply through by the 5, because they are dividing. Our x and this 5 are dividing, so we're going to multiply through by 5 and here 2 by 5, and realize that 5 multiplied by y becomes 5y. Okay, and this will take care of this, so we have x, and we are done. Okay, let's solve more. Let's see how we are going to solve something like this. How about if we have y is equal to x minus 5 over 2. Make x the subject. Pause the video and try it, and then resolve it. Okay, now first you realize that the numbers affecting our x's are 2 and then 5. So first let's take care of the denominator here, 2 out. So multiply by 2 times 2. So we have 2y equals, this will take care of this. So we have this. Alright, now we can now move this to the other side by adding 5 to both sides. So we have 2y plus 5 is equal to x minus 5 plus the 5. So let's take care of this. We have the final answer becomes 2y plus 5 is equal to x, and it becomes our final answer. Alright, well, how about this one too? If we have something like this, 3a is equal to 8b minus a, and this time we're making a the subject. Let's make a the subject. Okay, how are you going to solve this? Alright, now with this kind of questions, I think we are getting into something more complex. Alright, so with something like this, you just have to group all the a's at one side. Okay, group all the a's at one side, and then we can now start to whether factorize or divide or whatever you need to do. So let's group all the a's at one side. So we are going to take this a and add it to this. Okay, we take this a and bring it to this side. So we have 3a, then this moves and then becomes positive a. Then we have 8b left here. Now when we add this, you're going to get 4a is equal to 8b. We divide through by 4, divide through by 4 here. So our a will become 4. How many times? 2 times. Now this is what we have as our final answer. Alright, as our final answer. Alright, let's see something more complex. How about we make x the subject of this equation? Something like this. How do we make x the subject? Now first, let's take this from this side. Let's take -5 to this side. So we get y plus 5 is equal to root of x. Now we are looking for x and not root x. So you should know that the value of this square root is 1 over 2. Okay, that's the value. Therefore, if we want to take care of 1 over 2, we have to multiply by 2. Okay, so that this 2 will take care of this 2 and there is only 1. Hope you understand what I'm saying. So what we do is that you square both sides. We square here, then we square all this, so that this will cancel the square root. Square always cancels square root. You can keep that. Square always cancels square root, so that we have y plus 5 all squared to be equal to x. and that becomes our final answer. You can choose to expand or leave it like that. All right, so let's see. We have more questions to solve because I want us to solve a lot of questions, because as we solve, that's when you get to understand how to change subjects. All right, let's see. Simple interest. Simple interest is normally given by PTR over 100. I think something like this. Yeah. So what if you have been asked to make T the subject? What are you supposed to do? Now, what you're supposed to do is that first, let's take care of this 100. It goes away. So you have to multiply 3 by 100. Okay, times 100 to the other side. So we have 100 times simple interest will be equal to, this will take care of this. Let's go to P, T, and R. We are making T the subject. So we divide 3 by PR. Divide 3 by PR. So that this R will cancel this R. This P cancels this P. So that our T can stand alone here. Then we can have 100 times simple interest over principal times rate, and that becomes the formula for finding the time, okay, with relation to simple interest. Now, what I always do is that if you're able to master change of subject, you wouldn't need to memorize all the formulas that all the formulas that you need to memorize. You don't need to memorize all of them. You have to memorize one, and then you can apply them in so many ways. Let's say we have the area of a circle to be equal to pi r squared, and you are already given the area. You have been asked to find the radius, so you are supposed to make r the subject in this equation or formula. Okay, what you're supposed to do is that you have to take care of this pi. This pi must leave first, so we divide by pi, divide here to by pi, so that this pi goes away. We have a over pi to be equal to r squared. And just as we said here, when you take a look at this side, square was able to take care of square root. Then when we come here, it means that square roots should also be able to take care of the square. So we apply square root here, and it affects all, so that these two cancels this. Then we'll be left with the root of a over pi to be equal to r. So this is the formula for finding the radius when you're given the area. Okay, so if you're able to master change your subject very well, you'll be able to manipulate all your formulas very well and efficiently. Let's say we have a question like we have a lot of questions to solve. Let's say we have E equals mc squared, and we are asked to find m, which is the mass. We're able to find m here. Make m the subject. This is very, very simple. So what we do is that let's just divide by c squared, and that's all. So m will be equal to E over c squared. Very simple. So if you master this particular formula, E equals mc squared, you are okay. You are good to go. You can manipulate it in anyhow or whatever. Okay. Now let's see density. Density is equal to mass over volume. I hope that's right. Now density. Okay, let me just use D for density. Okay. Now you are already given density, and you're asked to find, let's say, the volume. Now you don't need to memorize the formula for finding the volume of density. When I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here. When you have been given the density and the mass, and you have been asked to find the volume, you don't have to memorize the formula for finding volume. You just need to memorize only one formula, which is the formula for finding density, and you can manipulate it and change the subject so that you can find the volume. So what we are going to do here is that we're just going to multiply through by v here, so that our v, we're making v the subject, I know, but v here is the denominator. So let's try to make it come here, and then we can now continue from there. So we have this cancelling. So we have v times density is equal to the mass. Now I have to let this d live here, okay, so that my v can stand alone. So I'm going to divide by d. So my v will be equal to m over d. Change of subject. So I just brought change of subject. I just have to bring the d. Just have to bring the d here and v there. Change of subject. Very simple, and you are done. Okay, so I think I would have to end here, and then If you have any question, you can leave it in the comment section. Thank you.